It's dawn, and Philip Ndungu has already been to market. It's only the start of what will be a long day. Every morning, Philip prepares hard-boiled eggs, salsa, and fried sausages. It's his micro-business, taking and selling a hot breakfast to his entire neighborhood.
Kazi yangu sana sana huanza saa 12 asubuhi, na watu wenye nauzianga before niende school ni around 700 people.
Philip's patch is the suburb of Kawangari, one of the poorest in Nairobi. His small business has earned him respect in what can be a tough place. Paul Gando is one of his loyal customers.
Ile kitu mimi nafikiria ni jambo mzuri sana kwa sababu vijana wengi kama huyu jamaa wengi wanga hawezi fanya job kai, wanaogopa pengine wasichana watawakataa ama vitu mingi mbalimbali, lakini huyu jamaa ananijali sana kwa sababu ile job anadu, yani amejitolea kufanya hiyo kazi badala ya kwenda kujiengage na mambo za drugs ama madawa za kulevya.
A year ago, Philip had dropped out of school. He had no money to pay the fees and no way to get a loan.
Ndio nilikuwa na shinda ya kulipa fees, na kwa sababu kazi ilikuwa tu inaenda chini.
Then a micro lender called Equity Bank opened up in his neighborhood.
Kwa sasa nikaenda tukaongea na yeye, at least wakaweza kuniboost, wakanipa pesa za kulipa shule.
Philip was granted a $100 loan to start his business. That was enough for Philip to nurture his micro-enterprise, take on an assistant, and return to finish his last year of school, paying his own way.
Maisha yangu yanaendelea vizuri sababu hakuna mtu tunasubuana eti kazi na afanya kazi alafu naenda shule. Sasa inaendelea vizuri sababu ni mimi najitegemea.
Microloans, sometimes for as little as $10, are Equity Bank's mainstay.
Now we are very happy.
Today, Dr. James Mwangi, the bank's founder and CEO, is opening a new branch in a rural, low-income area that all major banks have avoided.
So we are happy to declare this kind of branch of Equity Bank officially open.
Equity's business is booming, while the major international banks are being battered. Mwangi has a very clear view of what created the current financial crisis.
That was driven by greed as opposed to need to serve. So it was not the basics, tenets of banking. It was more for satisfying some unsatiable human greed.
Bringing Kenya's poorest entrepreneurs, people like Philip, out from the underground economy and into the mainstream has been the secret of Equity's micro-banking success.
Equity has developed a model that have incorporated them, made banking inclusive, and done not only good, but also done very well in terms of performance. For the last 10 years, Equity has kept a pace of growth in excess of 100% year in, year out. Last year, despite the financial turmoil, Equity was still able to register 110% growth in profitability.
Equity's success has also been due to its efforts to bring women into Kenya's banking culture. Monica Weaver was working as an underpaid seamstress when an Equity employee came by to talk.
They were just marketing Equity, telling us how it can empower women and I got a chance to be one of the women that were empowered by the Equity Bank.
Monica opened an account with Equity and started saving for her own business. The bank charges nothing to open an account and encourages its clients to deposit as little as $1 Australian.
Even to open an account with other bank apart from Equity, it was difficult. For them,
You tried?
I tried, but it was difficult for me because maybe I had 2 shillings with me or 100 to take them to that big bank. It was a shame. But with Equity, even if I have 50, I'm so much comfortable to go and save my 50 shillings. I also gave them the television set if I was unable to pay the loan back.
Monica had very little to use as collateral, but Equity accepted her small table and television as security. James Mwangi says that the bank accepts all kinds of interesting items as loan guarantees.
I think a common but strange collateral is the matrimonial bed. We see for married women just a commitment that they sign off their matrimonial bed. If you look at the level of the volume in terms of the size of the loans, you can't go beyond what they have. That is the assets that they have, and that is what they value most.
Till now, the majority of micro businesses in Kenya have stayed out of the banking system, using cash instead. For years, the major banks believed that these people were not to be trusted to repay even the smallest loans. James Mwangi has proved that the truth is exactly the opposite. The most poor are, in fact, the most reliable. The default rate on Equity's microloans are the lowest in the banking industry, less than 6%. David Matane is an investment advisor, and he's been following Equity Bank's microfinance initiatives.
If you get to look at the books of micro institutions, those which have got micro lendings, the rates of delinquencies is so minimal, is so unbelievable, and that's because of the financial and fiscal responsibility of the individuals who are running these organizations. Some of them have nothing else to turn to. That is the be-all and end-all of their economic well-being. They depend on it. They are so emotionally invested in it, they could not let it die.
Lillian Macharia built this small hotel and pub with Equity money, but a large part of it burned down recently. Never having been able to afford insurance, Lillian went back to the bank, and without even additional collateral, they gave her a second loan to help rebuild.
Kwa hivyo nimeona Equity inasaidia mtu hata kama hajiwezi, bora tu ufanye bidii ya kulipa. Ukilipa lazima watakupatia loan. Sasa nimeona vile Equity imenisaidia na ninashukuru Mungu sana, kwa sababu kama sio hao, mtu kama mimi na sina mambo mengine ya kufanya, sijui ningekuwa ninafanya namna gani.
Mwangi says that this isn't charity, it's good business. He claims that clients like Lillian are the safest bet in banking.
They are very responsible people. They are people who have been responsible for their lives. It's only that they have never been understood. It's only that they have been measured through other people's lenses and standards, and that's why they fall short. So it's a very parochial perception that is upheld. But if you both had to do a lot of groundwork on those type of people, you realize, one, they are very reliable and trustworthy, and that they are committed.
James Mwangi still crisscrosses all of Kenya, pushing his Equity Bank into remote areas. When he arrives in the rural town of Pala, he's greeted by a crowd of thousands.
This is a bank that is a product of the sweat of the Kenyan people, owned by Kenyans, managed by Kenyans, and committed through financial services to transform the lives of our people.
Equity has shown that without a doubt, the farmers, the weavers, and the hawkers in this rural crowd have something to teach the bigger players. What do you think that a small businessman in Kenya has to teach a Wall Street banker?
Or, if nothing else, honesty.
Kwa miaka mitano ijayo, ningetaka kaa ataweza kunipa kaa ni hiyo biashara. Nikiendelea na masomo nitaenda tu kufanya biashara. Nasoma masomo ya biashara ndio kuwe biashara kubwa. Nisaidie the rest wale wako kwa familia yangu.